Hi, this is James Hahn with Real Life Rosary and a meditation on today's readings. Y'all better plug your ears because I'm about to say a four-letter word. Obey. That's right, obey. And a lot of people in our culture today think obey or obedience is something to be pushed against, that makes us miserable, that's just horrible. But in fact, it's not the case. Obedience and to obey is something that can really actually make us happy. Think about it. If I'm obedient to the traffic laws of our country, you and I are going to remain happy. If I'm disobedient to those, say I decide that today I'm not following the rule that I need to stop at a red light, not stopping is going to make me and you miserable, right? I need to be obedient to that. Same thing with my children. If I have a curfew for them, I need them to come in at a certain time. Them being obedient is going to make them happy and me happy. Them being disobedient is going to make them unhappy because I'm very unhappy. Right? So obedience and to obey things can bring us happiness. Maybe you have a plan for reading Scripture. Maybe you have a plan for exercise, your diet. Being obedient to that plan is going to bring you happiness. It might be difficult, but it's going to bring you happiness. Being disobedient to it is going to make you miserable. Right? You're going to end up hating yourself because you didn't do this, you didn't do that. It's the same thing with God's laws and His commandments. I find myself the most miserable when I've broken the commandments. Now, I'm not going to share with you what commandments I've broken or when I break them, but that's when I find myself to be the most miserable. That's when I find I have the self-hate. I find myself most happy when I'm following those commandments, when I'm obedient to those things. So in today's readings, we'll start with the gospel. It talks about those who are obedient to Christ will have life. Right? It's not enough just to believe in Him, but we have to do things. We have to obey. Right? It's obedience that brings happiness and obedience that brings life. And in the first reading in Acts, the apostles are challenged to be disobedient to God. And in a nutshell, they say to the Sanhedrin, we respect you, but we have to be obedient to God first, and you after that. And in that situation, we're to be obedient to all of our leaders as long as it's moral and lawful. Right? We have to be obedient. We have to be civilly and prayerfully disobedient in certain situations. So I want to challenge you today to look for those times and those places that you are feeling that friction because of obedience. And maybe ask God to help you with that. Because remember, St. Paul tells us that Christ was obedient unto death. He wasn't disobedient unto death. Christ was obedient unto death, even death on the cross. Disobedience is what got us in this situation of sin in the first place. This is James Hahn with Real Life Rosary and a meditation on today's readings. God bless you.